Hello, I am Keren Bergman from Columbia University. In ISC 2021, we are going to introduce a special new track on emerging technologies. This is going to include 4 focus sessions. The first will be led by Jeff Vedder from Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and it will focus on preparing for extreme heterogeneity in high-performance computing. The second focus session will be led by Ashkan Sayedi from HPE, and it will explore the leveraging of Silicon Photonics in high-performance computing systems, specifically towards meeting exascale needs. The third focus session, led by Jiang Zhu from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, will examine speakers that discuss optical switching and networking in next-generation high-performance computing systems. And lastly, the focus session led by Dirk Englund from MIT will look further into research on emerging neurophotonic and unconventional computing technologies. Again, the first session, led by Jeff Vedder on extreme heterogeneity, already includes 2 speakers, Dr. Boku from University of Tsukuba and Dr. Richards from CodePlay. And this focus session will really examine how the community is going to be preparing for the age of extreme heterogeneity in high-performance computing architectures, exploring solutions in programming models, intelligent runtime systems, and performance predictions. As this community is well aware, the pace of architectural specialization is fast and quickening in the last few years. As the trend for high-performance computing system are slowing, it's where in the architectural designs is where the new innovations emerge. For example, there are over 100 companies currently focusing on hardware specifically for machine learning. The Department of Energy in the US has an impressive roadmap towards exascale systems. And they are very much inclusive of heterogeneous cores across the systems, deep memory, including non-volatile memory, and essentially a plateauing of the I/O performance, which is driving a tremendous amount of heterogeneity and likewise innovations that are going to be needed across these systems. In particular, one of the largest challenges is probably in the software development. And so this focus session will examine all of these components with 2 of the speakers already announced and more to come. The second focus session will examine how we leveraging Silicon Photonics in high-performance exascale systems. We already have 3 confirmed speakers, Jens Domke from Riken, Ray Beausoleil from HPE, and Fabrizio Petrini from Intel. And they will discuss how Silicon Photonics is making serious inroads into some of the large vendor systems towards meeting future exascale needs. In particular, some of the topics will cover how, although Silicon Photonics can deliver a tremendous amount of bandwidth density, there's still the limitation of the latency. The latency is a difficult challenge. And how do we get around that with the insertion of photonic interconnects and photonic networks? Also, we will discuss how photonics can deliver beyond the high bandwidth interconnects and high bandwidth density towards memory-driven computing. When we can embed the optical technologies in large-scale integration across perhaps other components of the computing system, including creating what are called analog photonic accelerators and possibly constructing icing machines that can solve NP-hard optimization problems. These are very important challenges for across the industry. And maybe we can even take photonics one step beyond towards in-network computing, where the photonics is used both for the logic as well as for the communications, and perhaps can deliver a very secure computing system that includes technologies such as cryptography. The third session, led by Jiang Zhu of Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, already includes 4 speakers that will cover topics across optical switching for next generation networking and computing, including Luca Ramini from HP Labs, Nico Pleros from Aristotle University, Haoshu Shen from Nokia Bell Labs, and Xintao Li from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Some of the topics explored in this focus session will include the power analysis of all-to-all topologies using Silicon Photonics and other optical networking switching technologies, as well as looking into driving ultra-low energy computing from the optical interconnects to new architectures, including neuromorphic architectures that perhaps can drive the systems towards the femtojoule per computation architectures, ultra-low power architectures. And lastly, in a focus session led by Dirk Englund on emerging neuromorphic and unconventional computing technologies, already 2 confirmed speakers, Stefan Reitzenstein from TU Berlin and Ryan Hammerly from MIT, will look at optical microlaser arrays for optical reservoir computing, as well as looking into how large-scale linear optical neural network integration can perform computation in the optical domain in these unconventional technologies for future deep neural network and various computation platforms. For example, some of the topics discussed will include optical neural networks based on photoelectric multiplication and their insertion into creating large-scale deep neural network computation. So we hope this teaser was exciting and will prompt your participation both in this year's all digital ISC 2020, as well as next year, hopefully, and looking forward to in person, the special track on emerging technologies and the 4 focus session in ISC 2021. Thank you so much.